It's time to build some battleships, subjugate the Bothazoid, and, well, I couldn't come up with a third B word. But we're looking at the Alpha Centauri system here. We haven't actually looked at this system in a long time. It's the first system that we colonized as the Roman Star Empire in Roma Galactica II. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Roma Galactica 2.5 series. Roma Galactica 2.5. Yeah, that one. We are still building up a lot on our planet, so we're going to continue to because we've been at that point for a few episodes now where there's just constantly stuff to do, which is not the worst problem to have in the world. But as I mentioned, we are going to build some battleships now that we are ready to do so. We've designed them. We just need to plug them into Classis 1, as well as think in terms of maybe what other ships I'm going to, or what other fleets I'm going to be creating in this series. So let's take a look here. We have a couple of escort class ships hanging out with Classis 1, and that changes the makeup of the fleet somewhat. I'm going to add one more Jupiter class cruiser. So now we have 16 destroyer class ships, and we have 12 cruiser class. So maybe what makes the most sense is to have 8 battleships, or maybe 8 battleships just to continue with that math somewhat. Let's add all 3 of them. And then the question is, we need, I guess, 2 of them, and then 2 of the third. So I would imagine that I would go with, let's see, which was my... All right, the Claudius is the carry class. This is the one we'll have 2 of. Or maybe we'll have 2 of the artillery class. I mentioned not building a lot of these yet. So why don't I do 3 of the ones that I'm going to definitely have, the Claudius and the Severus class. So let's remove the Domitian entirely. And we'll just have 3 of each. And we actually don't have any more command. Really? Well, that's frustrating. In that case, I'll have just 2 of each for now, but we'll eventually have more battleships in the fleet. We're going to need to boost our command limit a little bit. And that's all the more reason to go ahead and start building Classis 2 and above. But let's go ahead and jump into...
Construction complete.
Speed 2 or 3. And then for whatever reason, I cannot...
Construction complete.
Reinforce the fleet.
Construction complete.
Maybe once the upgrade is done, I'll have the option. It's odd that I don't have it right now. That's kind of disconcerting. But in the meantime, we have other stuff to look at. Let's go ahead and... Oh, hey, Nova Parthia is ready for a couple of things. They're ready for a colony center upgrade. There's one thing. Now, it does seem like minerals are still a bit of a problem in some places. That might be because of some of the upgrades that I've done. So, in this particular case, why don't we... Looks like we are kind of running low on amenities here, so it might be a good idea to do holo theaters on Nova Parthia. And then physics research. We do need better plasma cannons. We looked at that in the last episode. But also shield tech. Let me do what I've done in the past and go for the 0-point reactor first, so we have the best power technology out of the gate. And that will ensure that any upgrades that we do are fully powered on our ships. Yeah, exotic gases are back to 0 income. Interesting that our income has been swallowed up so quickly as we've upgraded. Where did the exotic gases go? What did I... Hang on. Hold up. Now I am starting to wonder about... I'm looking at the upkeep of my ships here. I know that building some of these required exotic gases, but I don't see anything about upkeep. Yeah, upkeep doesn't require exotic gases. So I'm not sure why that income would have changed. We can make a deal, right? Not with these guys. No. Go away. Is it the Mutagon? No, those are rare crystals, although that's good to know. I think it's MegaCorp. Yes. So why don't we say that for... Let's go ahead and go for 5 exotic gases for 50 energy credits a month. I'm making a ton of energy, so why not go all in? And that'll fix that problem rather immediately. Odd as it is. And then we, as I mentioned, we have to make sure that our minerals situation gets fixed soon-ish. Okay, there we go. And yet we only have +2. What is going on there with the exotic gases? And by the way, that's not a rhetorical question. If you have an explanation for this in the comments, I'd love to know it, because I can't think right now. Maybe there's a very straightforward explanation, but I can't think right now of what might have caused... Oh, you know what it might have been? It might be just the jobs moving around. That's what it is. So as population grows, that production should go back up. But the jobs are moving around given that I've just upgraded so many buildings. Okay, that probably explains the mineral shortage too. All right, never mind. Question answered. So basically, because I've upgraded a lot of buildings as opposed to building districts, a lot of specialist jobs have opened up and people have moved around in their jobs. Both moved up from other strata and possibly moved from one specialist job to another. And with that being the case, we've seen some shifting in our economy, but that should balance out as population continues to grow. So Ascrivium is a little bit low on housing. Let's get a city district building there and then continue building. Now let's see if this upgrade is still happening. There's the reinforce fleet button. So that probably was why we couldn't reinforce. Interesting. So we've had a couple of... Oh, the Raxar actually want to go to war against the Vedaricius Confederation again.
Science Division report success.
Let's pause for a moment and see if we can see... I don't think it's possible to see claims, is it? No, sadly it is not. Unless, of course, I can see claims using this. Yeah, I can't see their claims. I wish I could, but I can't. But, I mean, if they want to go to war again, I can support that. That's fine. So, let's go ahead and say yes to continue pushing back against the Vedaricius Confederation.
Foreign powers are engaging in active hostilities.
So now that war has begun again, and we're going to have to do a better job paying attention to it this time, but that'll help keep things interesting. There's our command limit boost. We could boost our administrative cap again, which I think is going to be quite useful, especially given that it's only going to take 14 months. So let's do that to reduce those penalties as I've been mentioning. Now, we want to make sure that this fleet involves itself fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and assign a leader to it now that it's in the fight. It's worth investing in. I like hull regeneration and armor regeneration, but do I like it as much as a speed boost or a sensor range boost? Also, that's an older general. I have to think about that. Yeah, let's go for the engineer. Caesula Cosucius. All right, so you are now leading that fleet. I want you to just sort of hop around and take over a bunch of these systems. I'm not going to send in Classes 1 until upgrades are complete and until some additional ships have been built.
Construction complete.
Why is this at 112%?
Ships refitted.
There we go. Okay. Ships refitted. We can probably do another upgrade, it seems. Yep, all right. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Eventually, I'm going to have to add some to these stations, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. We have another few worlds that we can colonize, and sooner or later we'll have the ability to actually terraform Mars and populate it. I'm a little bit surprised at this point that we haven't had that already occurring. Now, that we haven't had that option come up. Okay, pretty big deal. We have a new tradition tree, that's the word I was thinking of, to choose. We can go with Harmony, which adopting this will give us a reduced food consumption from all of our pops. And this will also, one really big thing about this is that if we go for the kinship tradition next, so not this choice, but the next choice, then the time it takes for unemployed pops to demote to a lower stratum is reduced by half. which is really, really tempting. If we go with domination, this kind of helps us maintain our territory better, and clearing blockers will be cheaper, although it's a little bit late for that to be beneficial. But the other things are still useful, as well as more influence per month, although we don't necessarily need that. I think I will go for harmony next, just to ensure that we continue to do well. Now, species with unspent trade points, or trait points, huh? I think we're currently researching robo-modding. Yes, that's 11 months away, so we're not going to worry about modifying any of our existing workers or people until that time comes. But we have other pressing matters to attend to anyway. So let's see what Cartoiches? Let's say Cartoiches. Cartoic. I'm gonna go with the soft CH, the Cartoich. Cartoiches Star Hunters are investigating this area here. And we're going to take over that station.
Construction complete.
And this should be over relatively quickly, given the disparity in power.
Engaging enemy station.
That's rude. I had the camera centered on that for a reason. I centered the camera, turned off the interface, and then it promptly decentered the camera. All right, well, that combat was over quite quickly, and we own that system. Now, that's a very weak fleet, relatively speaking, so I'm going to have them just get wrecked pretty quickly here. Yeah, these guys are going to turn right around and jump back, annihilate that fleet, and then keep doing what they're doing. Hisma Warriors sighted. For several months now, we've received scattered reports of a small number of alien mercenaries and privateers operating on the frontiers of our space. They call themselves the Hisma and are apparently exiles from a nomadic warrior culture inhabiting overcrowded space stations in and around the Quanaga system. Attempt to contact them. Okay, so we do have some... they're up by the Kasvalia merchant guilds, but we do have... oh my gosh, what are they called? Not barbarians. Raiders? I know that the Khan, oh my gosh, I've forgotten the technical name for this type of empire. They were introduced last expansion, maybe 2 expansions back. But yeah, we have some of those.
Ships refitted.
Can I not see? Yeah. They're basically the equivalent of barbarians in Stellaris, but for whatever stupid reason, I cannot remember the technical name in the game. I'm going to remember as soon as I finish recording this episode in the next few, I'm sure. But I can't remember right now. Oh, hello. Hang on. Lots more choices to make. Let's pause and make these with some semblance of thought. Now, this is a generator world, so... But it does have some mining districts, and we probably need to build a mineral purification plant just to ensure that we boost our minerals as much as possible. Although we don't necessarily need that here. We're okay on amenities and housing, so I don't know that luxury resources are necessary. Numistic Shrine would turn consumer goods into Unity, Society Research, and Amenities. Research Institute could be good, but we don't have any labs here. Let's go ahead and build labs just to expand that. Then could I do the same here, or do I need something here more urgently than that? This is currently an agro world. So yeah, let's do research labs here too. We haven't done too many research labs, so I think it's a worthwhile cause. And then it seems I'm going to need to buy more minerals. All right, so Scandia is officially a full colony, or will be soon. We're going to go ahead and build the gene clinic so it can grow faster. And then Phlegra, this is definitely going to be a mining world, so absolutely, this is where we're going to have a mineral purification plant. This is going to help us turn our mining situation around, I think, that world in particular. And then this is an agri world, so obvious choice here. We need to have the food processing facilities. Okay. with those decisions being made. All right, this combat has nearly started. All right, so we're pursuing these guys. Combat should be over relatively quickly.
Fleet action underway. Construction complete.
Yep. Let the fun begin. Something just popped up. I don't care that someone developed a new trade. I want to watch combat.
Underway.
Thanks. Thanks very much. Alright, so I would say the Federation fleet has mopped the floor with those guys, and it looks like Caesula Casucius has gained the Gale Speed trait, so she now has the evasion and sublight speed boost, despite the fact that that was not her initial ability. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to finish capturing those systems, and then I suppose we can go in and head up that direction. Crown Princess Lucia Hadrianus has developed new skills, so she's a military pioneer, which is perfect for what we were already thinking we would do with her narratively. So, yay for that. That fits right into what I've been saying I want to do, as far as just a justification for, going out and being warlike. We're going to have a young empress that's going to want to accomplish a lot. All right, so this is a generator world. I kind of want to make it a mining world, though. It doesn't have that many more energy districts than mining districts. And I feel like minerals is where we're suffering a little bit. Let's make it a mining world. And we're going to put a mineral purification plant down just to
Science
really
Division report success.
drive that home. Okay, administrative cap is higher. Let's go ahead and research interstellar campaigns so that our war exhaustion gain is lower. And we have... Yeah, we've already researched battleships, I know that. Yeah, minerals from miners plus 20%, that seems like the sensible next choice. Let's get that taken care of. All right, a couple of good tech options have come up this episode. I'm appreciating that immensely as we pursue this new war. All right, so another fleet has jumped in, but I'm not going to worry about them just yet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the order to attack these systems one at a time. And then I'm going to give the order to attack that fleet, assuming they still know where it is. We might actually charge in here and just do some damage around this spot toward the Izki Alliance, since the Izki Alliance are involved in this war, evidently.
Construction complete.
Now, I'm not going to hit reinforced fleet here, although I think it is time to go ahead and build those ships. Fleet's already at full strength. Good. Let's also, since I mentioned that I would this episode, and I don't want to forget, where do I want to train? We have Pacifica here, and Pacifica is where we are going to train our soldiers. So let's recruit. That's 12. So we're going to have 12 transports full of troops that we're going to send to Pila and end their resistance to our rule. Enforce Roman dominance over those blobs. They're literally blobs. They're like the Blorg from Paradox's streams. So let's see. If I upgrade this, that's going to increase my mineral intake. So I don't think it's quite time for that yet. What we can do instead... Yeah, this is a tech world. So I guess if it's a tech world, what we need to do is have research labs. Although, I'm not sure why it's a tech world. But we'll go ahead and get research labs built. We already have one. So we'll do some more, just to keep that in line with what it's supposed to be doing. For whatever reason, we have small elements of combat going on. These systems should fall relatively quickly. Why is Zif under our control? That doesn't make any sense. We didn't send our fleet in. Yeah, let's extend our deal. I don't understand how that happened.
Construction complete.
It didn't affect us last time, so I'm not worried about it per se, but it's still strange.
Fleet lost.
All right, the Raxar hegemony wishes to give the Shantari Commerce League association status with the Federation. Where's the Shantari Commerce League? So they're way over here. We have a good relationship with them. They're peaceful traders. Let's go ahead and say yes. Let's give them association status. Again, our Federation is the Galactic Axis. Fidgeting. The near-sapient natives of Triana are causing a ruckus on the outskirts of our colony. Something about the Roman Star Empire's continued presence here visibly agitates them as packs of them scurry to and fro between the settlement's borders and some unknown point to the east. Drive them off gently if possible. And this is going to give us some additional unity, cutting 6 months off of our journey to the next tradition. Good. All right, so these systems are falling pretty quickly. I'm going to give these orders anew. Let's just have you go there. And then I want you to take that system first and then attack that fleet. Because I definitely want that system retaken. We might just mess with the Izki Alliance for a bit. Scientist Servius Desticus has leveled up. Well, he's just assisting research, so that's fine by me. Oh, you know what we can do here? We can build the Naval Logistics Office. And then at the Mindara Station... I mean, a listening post really doesn't have a lot of purpose. A hydroponics bay is almost what I want to do. Although I think I don't quite have enough resource silos out and about. So that is going to be my primary focus here. And then this could end up being a defensive station, but it's not really that far forward. It's the Dabi system that would need to be defensively oriented. So yeah, let's do another resource silo there. These, however, I'm not going to do anything at the moment. Prefer to save my alloys for building massive amounts of ships. Okay, let's go back up to speed 3. And I think...
Science Division report success.
Yeah, we're just waiting on some armies to train before we can invade Pila. Wasn't expecting that war this episode, or we would have done that already. Let's see, fleet command limits. Yeah, let's go ahead and boost that so we can add our battleships
Construction
as
complete.
Needed. Okay, good. All of this has been taken in the name of the Federation. Now we're going to jump back and see what happens in Merga. Yeah, Classis 1 has been fully upgraded. It's saying the fleet's at full strength, but for whatever reason, it doesn't quite have the right number of ships. So how is it at full strength? Maybe because, no, it's not a command limit issue either. Something is up. Look at this. How am I not able to replace that ship?
Construction complete.
It's not that it's still being built somewhere, is it? We still have these battleships that are coming out. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Not quite sure what is going on there. But this combat will be interesting to watch. Not this combat, but the one where they go after this fleet. Alright, so let's attack that fleet and then come back here. Put a stop to the constant incursions from the Izki Alliance down to the south. Now Hades... I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and build a mining district here. And this, I think, should be a mining world. just to give that as much of a boost as possible and fix our minerals issue. Because it's a small issue at this point. We don't want to have to continue struggling with that if we can help it at all. Now, what do we have here? We have alloy production, civilian fabricators, some luxury residences, although we're still out of housing. And then an alien zoo. How are we doing on special resources? Let's go ahead and do research labs here too. It's one of our older colonies, and we really haven't built a lot of those throughout the series, so I think it's a good thing to make up for that.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Okay, so that's the 0-point reactor, and we aren't quite done building these transports yet, but they're going to be done towards the beginning, I would say, within 5 or 10 minutes of the beginning of the next episode. So we're going to work on those, and in the next one, we'll finally take over Pila. That's going to be fairly straightforward conquest, I think. And then those guys, I will probably make them slaves to a certain extent, which is interesting because one of Sobak, their scientist who is 82, has been helping us for a good while. So there's probably some backstory there to be uncovered. He's betrayed his people in some terrible way. Oh, a particle lance. That's really, really tempting. Planetary shield generator as well. I'm going to go with proton launchers, though, for my next weapon tech, just to give myself more, like, big weapons that I can put, for instance, on my battlecruisers and eventually on my Titan-class ship when that becomes available. But I'm going to stop this one here, and like I said, in the next one, we're going to finally conquer Pila, which I've been talking about for a few episodes, so it'll be nice to get that done. And we're going to push back into the Izki Alliance with the Federation fleet, which is really having no problem at all pushing into their territory and stopping their fleets. So these guys are going to have to put up more of a fight if they want to stop the Galactic Axis from completely wiping them out. They might have also given us a war target to think about once we have a second fleet built up ourselves, and you can think in terms of who we want to conquer. The only thing there is that the Raxar hegemony are our friends, and so we would have a separated empire unless we decided to conquer the Raxar, which I don't know that there's narrative justification for that. That wouldn't be as fun to me, to betray them, because they've been our stalwart allies from the beginning. So maybe the Dabbling Free Traders. The Galactic Multics Union, they are our protectorate. So I think I had 1 or 2 people in the comments mention maybe taking them over. I think what we're more likely to do is see if we can integrate them instead. So we might pursue that before long, and that would give us a lot of additional territory, given that they've been our subject long enough to just be integrated. So that might be something we pursue in the next one as well. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.